Hello everyone, you are welcome back to another episode of my law class at Abdullahi Legal Academy. My name is Abdullahi Adebayo Abdul, and in this episode I shall be discussing the definition of crime. If you are not yet watched the previous episode, I will urge you to firstly watch the previous episode before we can continue watching this one because they can't do without one another. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn with my username which is showing now on your screen. Now, let's start the class. What is a crime? There is one thing to be explained before going far into the discussion. The word offense is used in the criminal code and the penal code instead of the word crime. But since the word criminal is also used in both codes and the constitution, the word can be used interchangeably. So during the duration of this lesson, the words will be used interchangeably also. So wherever you hear the word crime, I also mean the word offense. And if I made mention of the word offense, I also mean the word crime. According to Black's Law Dictionary, a crime is an act that the law makes punishable. The breach of a legal duty treated as a subject matter of a criminal wrong. This definition I've just given earlier implies that a crime can only come into existence with the prescription of the law, meaning that a crime is a creation of the law. Only if the law says that something is a crime will it be a crime and nothing more. The same definition was provided under Section 4 of the Penal Code Act. This provision is emphasizing the principle of law that's attainable from a very long time, which provides that where there is no law, there is no sin, and where there is no sin, there is no punishment. So for an action or omission to be regarded as an offense, it must be provided for in the criminal code, the penal code, or any other acts of the National Assembly or the State House of Assembly. Similarly, under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, particularly under Section 36, subsection 12 of the Constitution, it provides that subject as otherwise provided by this Constitution, a person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless that offense is defined and the penalty therefore is prescribed in a written law. And in the subsection, a written law refers to an act of the National Assembly or a law of a state. Any subsidiary legislation or instrument under the provision of law. So in summary, crime is defined for the purpose of this study as what the law declares to be a crime. That is why Section 4 of the Penal Code and Section 2 of the Criminal Code defines crime or offense as an omission which renders a person doing the act or making the omission liable to punishment. Furthermore, in the case of Proprietary Trade Association versus AG Canada, a 1931 case, Lord Atkin said the domain of criminal jurisprudence can only be ascertained by examining what acts at any particular period are declared by the state to be a crime, and the only common nature they will be found to possess is that they are prohibited by the state and that those who commit them are punished. It is on the basis of Section 36, Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that the Supreme Court of Nigeria decided in the case of Fagbemi versus Auko in 1961 case that adultery is not an offense in the Southern part of Nigeria but just another way of life, and as such an accused should not be punished for it. In this case, a person in the Ogun State of Nigeria was accused of committing adultery and the person has been punished at the trial court. But when the matter was up to the Supreme Court held that even though an adultery might be wrong, it might be morally wrong, but it is not an offense, especially in the southern part of Nigeria. Even though adultery is an offense in the northern part of Nigeria, but it is not so in the southern part of Nigeria, and therefore, because it is not an offense written in any written law that is made or enacted by the State Assembly or the National Assembly for the southern part of Nigeria, adultery is not punishable. And that was the reason why the person that was accused in this case was set free. This will be the end of this class, and I will meet you in another class. Once again, Abdullahi Abdullah is my name, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn with my username, which is showing now on your screen. Meet you in another class.